If Mario Party is a full meal, WarioWare has always been more like a big bag of popcorn. WarioWare Get It Together is no exception, with bite-sized microgames that are a delightfully wacky test of both reaction speed and problem solving. This time with the interesting new twist of using unique characters that control differently. But while Get It Together can be a lot of fun and looks great, some dud characters and fleeting multiplayer modes keep it from being a regular part of a balanced party game diet. Get It Together's madness is introduced through a brief but entertaining story mode that takes about 2 hours to complete. Wario is a game developer now, and he and his employees get sucked into their own game to battle its bugs. That setup has nothing to do with completing the actual microgames, but the short cutscenes and conversations between each level can be very amusing. But we're not here for the plot, and WarioWare's single-player stages have always been more about going for high scores than beating them once and moving on. That's a fun challenge, particularly with the later playlists that have a larger pool of microgames to throw at you. There's co-op this time around too, which is a neat inclusion, even if the games haven't really been adjusted to accommodate 2 players. Solo or co-op, Get It Together's assortment of microgames is the kind of madcap hilarity I want from the series. One second you'll be removing a statue's armpit hair, and the next you're scrambling to feed baby birds. The fan-favorite Nintendo-themed games are also a joy, asking you to do things like help Link in Breath of the Wild, or complete a tea time in Fire Emblem. There's a healthy mix of ridiculous moments and quick challenge here too, which allows you to tangibly improve as you start recognizing levels. That familiarity is shaken up nicely by the new playable characters, who have unique abilities and movement styles that can give the same microgame a different flavor. For example, Wario can fly anywhere, while his pal 18V is stuck sitting still. They each have their strengths and weaknesses for certain microgames, and story levels ask you to pick a roster that you'll randomly swap between, adding some additional spice to stages you've beaten a dozen times. Each character's animations and the associated levels around them are filled with personality too, adding life to every corner of Get It Together. But while the roster is visually diverse, some of these characters are just objectively worse versions of others, mechanically speaking. Why would I ever want to use video game enthusiast 9V, who's stuck constantly skateboarding left to right, when the robot Mike has a similar upward attack but can fly? Similarly, the flying dog-cat duo Dribble and Spitz have identical attacks to Ninja's Cat and Anna, but the latter can never stop jumping. There are definitely enough good options to keep the story levels interesting, but it's a shame that basically the same but worse was used as a template so frequently. The other half of the WarioWare coin is its multiplayer, which is hit and miss here. Get It Together's variety pack modes range from head-to-head microgames, to some very dull score attack minigames, to other oddball entries like a fighting game. The PvP options can be a lot of fun for a little while, but it's odd that apart from one of its 2 solid 1v1 modes and a comically janky volleyball minigame, none of the 4-player modes actually let you pick your characters. Instead, they're usually randomly chosen and frequently changed, which feels like a baffling decision to me. That includes in a clever territory capture game with its own set of unique PvP microgames, which are really cool, but unfortunately get old fast since there are so few of them. There's also a Smash Bros. Style brawler that quickly devolves into the wrong kind of chaos thanks to mandatory mid-match character swaps. In fact, only 2 of the 7 4-player modes are even about completing the regular microgames, which leaves Get It Together's multiplayer in a very strange spot. The zany, unexpected madness of adapting on the fly can be a good time with friends, but the options here are so random and give you so little control that they don't hold their shine past a few rounds. I absolutely enjoyed myself while playing, but after trying everything the variety pack had to offer, there's unfortunately just not enough of lasting interest here to make Get It Together a staple of my party game rotation like past console Wario games were. But to give credit where it's due, Get It Together's story mode does make much better use of its characters, at least the ones that don't suck. And the genuine appeal of chasing high scores is supported by a special Wario Cup challenge that rotates weekly. WarioWare Get It Together is an absurd delight, testing your ability to think quickly and adapt on the fly as you chase microgame high scores. Its new unique playable characters can either bring interesting twists or mechanical frustration to familiar games, depending on who you're using. It's a shame that the multiplayer options drop the ball in terms of long-term appeal, but the series' tried and true formula can still be a lot of fun here. For more, check out our reviews of No More Heroes 3 or Sonic Colors Ultimate, and for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.